podcast? You can now find us on Patreon at the LunaPod, where you can show your support for the podcast for only $1 a month. Or for a little bit more, you can get early access and bonus episodes, contribute to our podcast segments, and receive exclusive video content as we film our reactions, reviews, and discover new K-pop groups. Head over to Patreon now to join the community. We can't wait to chat with you. I really high-key miss Boys Planet days a lot lately. Like, I miss the whole environment of being so excited to watch it and like keep up with everybody. And I'm really excited for the reality shows that we get this year.
Hi, welcome to the LunaPod, where we talk all things K-pop. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Raquel. And today we are going over some of the contestants from Boys Planet and where they are now. But before we get into it more, first of all, I would like to just acknowledge that this is our first episode of 2024.
Yay!
So exciting! Yay! Really looking forward to this new year. So excited to see what it brings for us. And I feel like this is a wonderful episode to be starting the year off on. So if you don't already know, Zero Base One is the group that came from Boys Planet, and we are huge fans of them. They currently have 2 albums, In Bloom and Melting Point, and have since won Worldwide Fan Choice, Best New Male Artist, and Favorite New Artist Mama, and they're recently the Best Musician Award and Rookie of the Year at Asia Artist Awards. So they are killing it, because I swear they just debuted, like, last week.
I know, it feels so fast. We're just so proud of them, but there are other contestants as well from the show that we're also proud of and need to discuss. So we kind of have this divided up into different sections. We have ones that have since formed groups and have debuted. We have contestants that returned to their original group, ones that have become soloists now, ones who are diving into acting, and other just upcoming people.
So the first group that we're going to talk about is Even. They debuted September 19th, 2023 under Jellyfish Entertainment with the mini album Target Me. This is a project group, and honestly, they had such an amazing debut.
It was just like one of the most like professional seeming debuts. That seems silly to say, but like sometimes debuts are good, but they're not like mind-blowing.
They're just starting off. So yeah.
This one was just a different caliber. It was amazing. And I just feel like people don't debut like this anymore. So this one just blew me away.
Definitely hoping that they end up sticking together.
I know. It makes me so sad because as of right now, like their contract, I think, is like only a year and a half, which is very unfortunate because they work so well together. And I need them longer. Like they just look so good as a group.
They do. And their sound is incredible. And like, I have a bit of a ill feeling with project groups. They just make me a little bit upset because I want them to be around longer. But anyway, the group name means Evening's Newest Étoile, which means new rising star in the night sky. And then their fandom name is Envy, which is their name backwards, signifying that we're walking towards the same goal, like a reflection in the mirror. Super cute. First of all, I love the spelling of this group's name in general. It's EVNNE.
Yeah.
So cool. Again, why a project group? That's a top tier name. And they have an incredible logo.
Like, sometimes, like, people are so lazy with their logo. I mean, it is, like, just, like, an E and a V, like, intertwined, but it looks so good.
This is really sad. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the members of Even. First of all, Keita is the leader. He's still technically in Cypher, but he is in this group as well, and I know he was definitely, like, a fan favorite. We also have Park Hanbin, Lee Junghyun, Lee Sunghyun.
He is just an amazing vocalist and someone that just kind of blew me away during the show, so I'm really glad that they have him in this group.
I feel like this is a really well-rounded group of people in general. We also have Ji Yunso.
I really loved him a lot during the show as well. He's it's like, I could see like big potential for him being comfort to me. I think, like, I've been recently rewatching Boys Planet with my friend who's watching it for the first time, and we both just kind of noticed, like, oh, he's so comforting, like, kind of giving Bear.
Oh, that's fun. Because, like, again, if you haven't watched our Boys Planet episode, first of all, it's really fun, so go check it out. But we didn't get to watch a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff because we were in a time crunch watching Boys Planet, so a lot of our reactions were just for the performances. Mm-hmm. So it's really fun. I've tuned into a couple of things that you've been rewatching, and it's just cool because I feel like you have a whole different set of eyes when you're watching it, already knowing, like, who ended up debuting and all of that. So it's been really cool. Anyway, the last 2 members of Even are Mun Junghyun and Park Ji-hoo.
And for each of these kind of like randomly noted potential bias for each of them just in case we had some ideas. I really enjoyed Keita so much, so I definitely have him there. But I would say Junghyun could definitely be a potential wrecker, but also Yoonso I really enjoyed, so I could see him, like, as of right now I'd say wrecker, but like could like be another bias option.
If you don't know me, I struggle to choose biases, especially with all of these new groups forming. There's so many that we've been trying to keep up with because there's so many new groups outside of Boys Planet, former contestants that we're also keeping up with. It's a lot, and so I'm struggling to choose biases anyway, so I only have like potential biases in some of these. But stay tuned because I'm sure we will be doing episodes on many of these groups in the future, and I will choose a maybe bias, maybe. Maybe. By the time that we do that.
So the next group, I could sob, I love them so much, is One Pact. They are under Amada Entertainment and debuted with the mini album Moment on November 30th, 2023. I have never anticipated a debut so much.
Yeah.
Like, this was a big one for me. I'll get into that in a second. So the meaning of the name, quite simple. One, impact, smushed together. Love it. And the fandom name, I didn't realize. I was looking up a lot of these groups again because I had started the outline a while ago, and I wasn't really sure if they had come out with any fandom names for like any of these groups yet, so I had to go back and look them up. And so they did come out with theirs, and it's really, really cute. It's just and heart, but it's
the symbols,
yes,
the and symbol and the
and
heart
like
symbol.
A heart symbol. So it looks really cute when it's written out. And the and symbol symbolizing point of contact that brings the 5 members together, and the heart symbolizing the inevitable encounters that make One Pact exist.
Cute.
Oh. Yes, like I said, very anticipated debut for me. Will end us.
Yeah.
And they did pre-release performance videos for Goat and Hot Stuff, which were amazing.
They were so good. That sound of that, we immediately were like, okay, not only are we excited for the members of this group, which was such a fun thing. They were like introducing the people of One Pact so interestingly to where it was very like highly anticipated who was going to be revealed next, but then we were also anticipating the sound of the music they were going to be creating because these were incredible.
And they did a self-made video for Rush Into You, and just big shout out to these members. Hot Stuff, like at the end of their performance video for that, it was like produced by Tag, and I was like, holy crap, talented. And then after Rushed Into You, it was like directed by Jungwoo. So I'm like, these boys,
they're just so involved.
They are. Like, I feel like they have a say in like a piece in everything that they're doing so far, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's a kind of whole conspiracy that we have right now in general, but the CEO of Armada Entertainment has a really cool story as well. Stay tuned because we'll definitely be doing an episode on One Pact and we'll get more into that, but it's just very cool and just very, very proud of them.
So all the members, we have Yoon Jung-woo. He was a former member of Black Level and he is the leader of the group. We have Oh Sung-min, who is a former TO1 member. Lee Yeram, who is just my small powerhouse and I love him to death. Yeom Taegyeon, or Tag, and he is a former member of Cypher. But this one was interesting. So these members were from Boys Planet, but technically Tag left before it was aired. But as I was rewatching it, like since I know him now from this group, they were at the point of Boys Planet where they were learning the Signal song test, and they were just in the big
huge warehouse area.
The huge warehouse area doing like the workshop of learning the dance. And there was like one point where I was watching, I'm like, hold on, I was like, that's literally Tag. I swore on my life, and so I went back and it literally was him, but I guess like he had left like somewhere in between that and like
when they
the
aired,
next little bit, so I guess they just like removed any of the other parts he was in, so technically Boys Planet, but like we didn't see him on there. And finally, Jae Chang. So we adore him so much. And this one, it was just funny because like we were saying, whenever they were announcing the members, they were just like posting like one member at a time and like really hints as to who would be next. So we were just like guessing the entire time, like who on Boys Planet would be in this. But Jay like kind of just gave it away at one point, which I mean, a lot of people assumed Jay and Jungwoo would end up debuting together, but then Jay was like, yeah, I'm gonna debut with him, like woohoo, on
a live stream.
And it wasn't even like announced yet, but he was like the last member to be announced, so saw that one coming, but very excited about it. So this is just my group and I'm claiming them as such. I love these members so much. And I talked about Jungwoo during my birthday episode because he was literally one of the quickest biases I've ever had, and honestly he was the first bias that I ever had that like wasn't in a group. He was like
pre-debut.
still a trainee at this point. So he was my first trainee bias, which is very exciting. And like, I don't know, I feel like it made it more exciting for like his journey. And I was just highly anticipating it the entire time. I'm like, when is he debuting? Like, I need this right now. So very happy that it's happened. And even though like people know about them and we're currently in the process of telling more people about them, I feel like like I said earlier, I'm claiming them as my own, and they're just a big comfort group for me, and I want to keep them to myself.
I know. Well, and like part of me, we were talking about this the other day. They almost feel like an underground hip hop group, which makes me nervous because I'm like, they need more recognition.
Yes.
Because I feel like they're not getting enough recognition. Like, they deserve so much more. The production and the quality that we are getting from them, they should be at the top right now.
Yeah.
And they're not. So we'll enjoy their not fame for a while until they do get popular.
Because I need them to blow up. So yeah, they're just a very talented and stacked group. A lot of producing, directing, choreography backgrounds, and excited for the next album already. I need a tour. Please come to Orlando. Come to our little venue here. Please and thank you. But also, I genuinely don't know if I could handle Jungwoo live. I really don't.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a bit much for me.
Do you want me to tell you something right now?
Ew, sure.
Okay. So
Ew, wait, no.
I know.
Wait.
So this is just
Nervous
me.
laughing.
Okay. But the way that you feel and talk about him makes me think he may be an old bias for you in the future.
Well, no, and I said that during what episode?
I don't know if you've ever. I don't know if you've like talked about it being an alt bias. You talked about some of the wreckers becoming alts.
What were we doing? I think we have a big slideshow.
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
Maybe that would be kind of fun to like do a video on that eventually.
Oh, that would be
like
fun.
Once it's like fully like super structured and looking
Yeah.
nice. But yeah, we have this big slideshow that we saved with about every single group we could think of, and just have like either our like solid biases that we have, or like potential ones with groups that we're not as familiar with yet, and with like a little photo of them and their name, and that's it. And so there's literally probably almost like 100 slides on here. It's ridiculous. But I think we were just like discussing the people that we had on there, because at the top we do have like a top biases like in general outside of our ults. And I said, like, recently, like, I've just been so into Joohan from Monsta X and Jungwoo. And I'm like, this stuff makes me nervous because I feel like I know myself very well and, like, who I like a lot. And I already have 2 ults. And 2 is too much. Not really. Like, if you're, like, questioning, like, oh, should I have more than 1 ult? Because, like, the whole purpose of an ult is, like, the 1 ult above everyone else.
The ultimate.
But, like, you do you. We both have 2 ults.
Yeah, go listen to our episode called The Borderline Ults, because we talk a lot about it there, but you can't control it, to be completely honest.
And like, I remember saying, like, I'm like, these people make me nervous, and you're like, for what? For ult bias? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think so, blah, blah. But I don't know. I have people that make me very nervous, and I don't have time
and like
for
some
so
of the
many
ones,
ults.
Yeah, honestly, it takes a lot of brain power. But like some of the people that you talk about, I'm like, oh yeah, that person's gonna be a bias someday for you. But Jungwoo specifically, he has ult potential. And from what I can see, like the way that you talk about him, and like the way whenever he comes up on the screen, the way you react, I'm like, okay, this is more than just a bias. But I don't know, stay tuned. Maybe 2024 will bring some new alt light.
Time. I can have, like, we have like our bias records. He can be like an alt record.
An alt wrecker. But he's a bias. He does not on wrecker status.
But he's a wrecker of the ult. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's T.
Right?
Oh,
that's a whole thing.
That's the title of the episode. The alt wrecker.
The ults. The wreckers of ults. Yeah, I can't. There's too many people that, they're like, you know, this is so often, we're supposed to be talking about Boys Planet. We're talking about
Whoops.
people, crazy wreckers. But yeah, I just overall, they're like people that you bias, and then there's just like people that make you feel different and like giddy inside.
Yeah.
And I have like a good solid, like, I would say like handful of people, but I like to have minimal, because I'm the type that I like to collect things. I don't have time. But we'll see. Because if I ever met him and he asked me if I was like his favorite of favorites, I couldn't tell him no. How dare
exactly.
I? Anyway, who are you
Is that the sentence
thinking?
right there? Okay.
No. No. Shh.
I'm here to stir the pot.
Anyway, your potential bias for the group after that long ramble.
Oh, that's fine. This is one of the only groups I think in this episode that I might have a potential bias for. I'm thinking maybe Yetum, but
I
also,
see that for you heavily.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you were the one that initially were like, look at him closer. And I was like, okay, because I trust your opinion.
Yes.
It's usually right. So anyways, I'm thinking him, but again, I need more time to really, really dive into them.
I feel like that's a skill of mine. I feel like I'm usually good at like guessing who people would like.
Yeah, you are. The next group we are going to talk about is Ampers and One. They are under FNC Entertainment and debuted with the single album Ampers and One on November 15th, 2023. And I said that strangely because of the way it's spelled. So the group name is spelled like Ampers, the symbol and then spelled out one. And then this album was like Ampers and all spelled out space one. So that's why I said it that way. But the meaning of it is...
So the word ampersand is the name for the and symbol, and so that's why it's spelled Ampers and symbol one. Like that in itself is just kind of like a unique way of spelling that, and I love it to death. And then one, all of us coming together as one, so it's like and really one cool. We're all one. It's really cute.
Oh, I love it. Now they have a mix of members from Boys Planet along with other trainees. So first we have Nuck Hamden.
I really enjoyed him a lot from the show. He was somebody that I kind of just have like a soft spot for, and someone like after the show, like I was like really anticipating like something happening with him, so glad we finally have it.
We also have Brian Choi Jiho, who is the leader, and I think that's all of the Boys Planet members.
Yes, yeah.
And then the members who came from other places are Siyun, Kyrell, Makaya, and Sungmo.
I really like their overall group dynamic. I think they all work very well together, and just their debut in general was very classic, like honestly just built for success.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to more music in the future. And for biases for the group, I would definitely lean more towards Camden, but Kyrell is really funny, I will say.
They're definitely a group that I need to get into more, but excited to hear from them.
And next group is TIOT. They're under Red Star E&M and released pre-debut mini album Frame the Blueprint, Prelude to Possibilities on August 23rd, 2023, and released the single Find the Way December 14th, and so they're set to officially debut in 2024. They were just originally known as Red Star as their like pre-debut group name, but then changed to TIOT, which stands for This Time Is Our Turn, which is like
That's
really
cute.
nice.
It's giving second gen.
Yes.
Names. Love that.
Kim Junyeon, Choi Woojin, Kim Min-sung, and Hong Connie. Love the name Connie.
Yes. Also, I love a 4-member group. We were talking about this. A 4 and 5-member group is just really nice. Like, I love the bigger ones too, but there's just something very nice about the 4 or 5-member groups. And this is probably one of the ones I'm most excited for out of a lot of the Boys Planet ones, like aside from One Pack, because that's like a whole other level. Mm-hmm. But they are really good. Like, they're really, like, I love their sound.
Good potential.
They do.
So their title was Unbeatable, and the rap was just so good. And their vocals on top of that, more of like a rock sound, was amazing.
Oh my gosh. We need to watch, like, one of those videos that show which member is singing at what time, because there is one who his voice specifically over a rock sound is so nice. If you listen to our Christmas special, my brain is very much in a rock mood lately, and it just, it's so good.
And they just have a good dynamic and feel to them overall. Like we said, like just 4-member groups hit different. Like feels more like intimate and like close knit, I would say. And Find the Way, it just kind of felt more like an upbeat Christmas song, almost like what you get out of a drama. Yeah. Really enjoyed that. And overall, I'm just really glad that their company believed in them and saw their potential, because they definitely have such good potential. So looking forward to more. So for potential bias for this one, definitely Min-sung. I don't think that would change, just because I had an interest in him on Boys Planet, which again, I've been rewatching it, and it just made me more upset because he did really good, but he, like, during that first elimination round, he was eliminated, and I'm just like, there are other people that he should have been in front of, just saying. And like, I don't know. Also, I just found him attractive, which again was funny because my friend I'm watching with, she was like, oh, he kind of looks like Changbin. I'm like, leave me alone. And she's
we
like,
already know you've got a type.
Yes. And like later on, she's like, I think I've noticed your type. You're like really into people with like oval shaped faces and bigger noses. I'm like, once again, leave me be.
Yeah, you're like, thanks for defining that for me. Already knew that. Thanks.
But yeah, during the show and this debut, he had his red hair, and I just, again, some people, I don't know why I'm saying again, never said this.
Right. Well, we've talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. So some people just really rock certain hair colors, and it just feels like it's almost natural to them. Like we say a lot is like Jimin with blonde hair, like
he was
Ricky
born that way.
even with blonde hair. Like,
yeah.
Who are these people? They don't have blonde hair. It's like it suits them so well. red suits him perfectly. And I'm like, I'm assuming you came out of the womb
with
your
fire
hair
truck red
bright
hair.
red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It looks so good. And I'm like, I'm anticipating other hair colors, but I love red on him so much.
Yeah, it is really, really nice. Now, as we said, the 4 to 5 groups is the sweet spot. It's so nice. But the problem is when it's 4 or 5 groups, I tend to always be OT. So
Yeah, I
this
feel like
is a problem.
you struggle even more.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. The next group is TOZ. They are under YY Entertainment and debuted with the mini album Flare on September 27th of 2023. Their name means to our zone, so another second gen flashback name standing for something. Their fandom name is Topaz.
I could have died when I found this out. That is one of the cutest fandom names I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's so adorable.
And if you listened to our Boys Planet episode when that came out, we said that they had that time where they were wanting the fans to basically choose a group name, vote for one. And we were heavily leaning towards Boytopia because the concept photos and teasers, whatever they were giving us felt like Fairytopia. And so we're like, Boys Planet, Boytopia.
Yeah.
And our fandom, we were going to be Bibbles. It was going to be beautiful. It was going to be very fairy, magical.
This is a whole gag.
So yeah, a whole thing. So we joke about Zero Base One being Boytopia anyway, but TOZ is giving it to us with this whole Topaz.
Oh yeah.
There's literally a character called Topaz. Hold on.
It's a fairy.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, she was the icon. She was Mother.
She was she was the fairy queen. The sun one.
Yeah,
Wasn't
she was the yellow one.
Okay. Yeah, in the High Council of fairies of all the colors of the rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
Go Bubbles.
So basically this group is all of the cuties from the show. It's the younger ones, the really Aegyo ones.
Yeah.
And this group is actually a Japanese-based group as well. And the members include Maeda Haruto, who goes by Heart in TOZ. Now, we really expected Haruto to be the leader, honestly, because he showed such good leader potential with Supercharger during Boys Planet and the killing part and placing first with most of the points for that challenge. He's just absolutely incredible. We loved Haruto in Boys Planet days and still do, and we're so happy that he is in a group. We also have Inuma Anthony, who is the leader, Takano Yuto, and Toyonaga Takuro.
Remember?
Takuro. He was I think he was, if not the youngest, one of the youngest.
Him and Yujin were the youngest.
Yeah.
16?
Yes. Question mark. To be very honest, this group feels like a project group. It just is such a comfort and loved member group that for some reason I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around it. I'm very happy for them.
It feels like such a crowd pleaser group where it's just the people that brought a lot of other people comfort. So it just feels like a fake out. These people aren't going to be together forever because that would be too sweet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. I'm glad that they're not a project group, but that's just kind of the feeling they gave us just because who these members are and how cute they are.
Yeah, it was definitely a cute debut. They give that very Aegyo cute young feeling as their group dynamic, but we're excited to see them grow and what their sound and concepts will be.
Oh, and in the music video, there's this scene with Haruto and Takuto in a shopping cart scene. It is so cute. That's just the most random note, but it is the sweetest scene ever. They're wearing pink. It's adorable. So for bias wise, definitely for me, it's Haruto. He's a spirit animal. I'm not as hyper and I don't know, energetic, just crazy out there as he is. But internally, sometimes I feel that way. He's just very relatable and funny. He's an citizen to his core, and I'm same.
Relate, yeah.
So, yeah, kind of just a spirit animal bias. Love him.
Yeah, I would probably say Haruto as well, just because, again, we loved him from Boys Planet days, so it makes sense.
We're going to take a small break and remind you that if you're enjoying this episode so far, make sure to follow the podcast and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss an upload in the future. And if you'd like to show some love, feel free to give us a rating as well. We'd really appreciate it. For this week's segment, we are doing Rover's Rant. So we've done one Rover's Rant. So if you're new and this is your first Rover's Rant, our cat's name is Rover after Kai's Rover. And this is just a time where we, disguised as him, rant about random things. And so this week is the fact that some of these groups are temporary.
It's so upsetting.
And just overall how these survival shows, the groups are always kind of temporary with a shorter contract, either 1.5 year, 2 year. It's just so upsetting. The thought ew, ew, ew. The thought of Zero Base One disbanding is like the most heartbreaking thing ever.
Yes.
Especially like, because this is the first survival show that we like properly watched. I mean, not all the way through, but you know, like
Properly
we had
following,
watched.
yeah.
And so we got really attached to these people and their journey and like really rooting for their debut and for them to reach that. But then you feel like it's like taken away from them because then they disband.
Right.
It's so upsetting to see. Like, I can't, like, I love all the members so much, but we know a lot about Jiyoung's journey.
Yes.
That's just beyond heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, agreed. And like part of me knows that their contract was short because it's a reality show.
Yeah.
And so like the fact of it is, Rover's rant time to the peak right now, is that their contract is probably not very long. I think it's 2 years. But like on the flip side, they are so unbelievably popular. Like they hit records immediately, and like literally their debut I think was one of the highest selling debuts in a while, if not of all time. So part of me has hope that they're gonna be like, no, y'all are too big, like we're keeping you on.
I really, really hope that they're able to, even if they like maybe you have to like switch companies. I don't even care if you have to like rebrand and like choose a different name or like
Boytopia is available.
Yeah, Boytopia is wide open. Bibbles are here and ready for you.
Here.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just upsetting, like with the whole like even being a project group. Like
it makes me so
I don't know. Like
sad.
it makes me upset whenever there's like, I don't know, like these little project groups or like I guess like temporary collabs you could even say with other groups. It's just I need more. I do.
Yeah, I get it. Anyway, let's jump back into the episode and get out of that little
rut.
Rover's rut. Oh my gosh, how cute. Let's talk about some individual contestants who have gone off to do other things since Boys Planet.
So these idols are ones that returned to their original group that they were in before competing on Boys Planet. So of course we have Lee Ho-taek or Hui. He returned to Pentagon.
My heart breaks for this in a way because of what he like told us during Boys Planet and like what they were going through. My heart is broken, but also he's so loyal and like he's such an incredible idol and person. Like I'm just really proud of him and I'm hoping that he's got things lined up and like stuff in the future. But he did return to Pentagon.
And so on, Gio and Winnie returned to Nine, which I know at one point Winnie took a hiatus due to an injury. I don't keep up with Nine that well, so I don't know if like he's come back from that yet.
Then we have Lee Hwani and Lee Dongyul. They returned to Uptension and both moved to PA Entertainment to pursue diverse fields in Korea and overseas.
I loved these two so much. They were ones that I was like really rooting for and grew to love a lot because we weren't really that familiar with Uptensions. Like we heard of them, we might have heard a few songs, but like never really dove into them. But there's like a lot of contestants that I've seen more of or like learned more about since Boys Planet. Not only because of the show, but because I love Jungwoo so much.
Yeah.
And he's like friends with them. So love that. Good for them. Oh. And Jung Hwanrok returned to With Us. And Schwanhao returned to Dream 4.
We also have Feng Junlan, who returned to ECAT, and Kay, who returned to Edamame Beans. If you know us, you know how much we love Edamame Beans and that whole story. But they actually ended up disbanding on August 16th of 2023. I swear we watched them grow up, debut, have an entire like history, and then disband within a week. But anyway.
And Taoyuan returned to OCJ Newbies, which is the company's like trainee group, and that is that same trainee group that created Zodiac. So I'm quite excited about that and the potential for him.
Because this company, I'm telling you, they're not one that immediately comes to my mind as like known, but they should be because the groups they are creating, Zodiac, absolutely incredible.
So good.
The next previous members from Boys Planet are ones who went on to be soloists. So first we have Jung Ichan, who is under Hypel Entertainment and is currently releasing solo songs.
We have Chen Yugen, who debuted August 15th, 2023 with his EP List.
Next, we have Wang Jihao, or Lev, I'm not quite sure how he pronounces that, but he debuted August 18th, 2023 with an EP, AI Bay. He is so talented.
The funny thing about this is we found his music video for this debut on YouTube very randomly. Like, it would just like popped up on our page. And so we're like, cool, let's listen to this. But we didn't make the connection that he was from Boys Planet. And so we were just like loving the debut.
Yes, amazing song, yes. Great production.
And then I'm doing this and I'm like, Lev, I'm like, that sounds so familiar. I'm like, what? And I was like, holy crap, he's the one. Like that debut was incredible.
So good.
Literally so amazing, especially for just like going in and just debuting as a soloist. I feel like that's like a hard thing to do.
Especially nowadays, yeah.
And so we're like, how is this so top tier? Like, what is this company? Never even heard of it. And it's like, it's Chromosome Entertainment. And I was like, what is this? And so I looked it up more literally today, and I was like, he's the only artist under this. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, how are they this good? And then I found out that like EXO's Lay is the CEO of this company. Are you kidding me?
Insane. No wonder it's so top tier. This kid is destined to have a good career.
So amazing.
You're telling me like my honey Lay is the CEO? Crazy. Didn't even know he had a company. I mean, I think he literally like put it together in 2021, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's still pretty new. So I'm beyond excited for like anything else that comes from this company.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, if it's correct, like online, it was said that he might have like gotten like a subsidiary. I don't know if that's the right term for like it's like a, I don't know. I think they're gonna have like a Korea based like either subsidiary or just like a little section of the company. So like that would just like open even more doors. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. We'll definitely be keeping up with that one.
And then we have Lee Sung-hwan, who's also going by Only for his solo work. He debuted September 9th, 2023 with Be With You, and recently released Switch On, his first mini album with the title track Stewardess Girl. Both are really good and show like just different styles and sides to him. So he's one that I really look forward to more solo work from.
And the last one that we have on this list is Chen Zhenyu, who debuted October 25th, 2023 with You Can't Catch Me.
I feel like he has good potential and like it's an interesting sound that he was going for. So I'm looking forward to like what's coming next and like where he takes things. So moving on to people who decided to pursue acting instead. We have Park Do-ha, who returned to Q but ended up leaving the idol industry and pursued acting. This is our Blue House from Boys Planet. If you're familiar with Blue House and Red House, if you get the reference. So yeah, this is Blue House. He was the one with like, he said like cuter face, but like voice that isn't, the like deeper voice. He was just so sweet on this show. Like he was a very endearing person, and it's honestly just like, I don't want to laugh, but it is ironic that he did end up pursuing acting because that's literally what
the first impression was, that he looked like an actor.
And like that's what like after like I think they were just doing like the star level test, and when they were practicing the star level test song, that was like even a note that one of the masters like mentioned is like, are you sure you want to be like doing this? Like you should do acting, like you look like an actor, like that's what you should be doing. And like now that's like what he's ended up doing. So like honestly like a little sad ironic thing, but I'm excited that he's still like pursuing something, like driving towards that passion. So I definitely want to like keep up with him and see like what he ends up doing.
Yeah. And speaking of our Blue House contestant, our Red House contestant also is debuting in acting. Jung Mingyu was, if you've listened to our Boys Planet episode, we considered him the underdog. We absolutely loved him. He ended up leaving the idol industry, but signed on as an actor with Fantiago. So again, really just looking forward to what he ends up doing because we really enjoyed him.
And John Ho-young returned to OUI Entertainment, but also left the idol industry to pursue acting under the stage name Nam Danu. And he just also has that actor look to him, which is so much fun. Okay, so I watched To All the Boys. Is that the whole name? Is that it? To All the Boys I Loved Before. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I watched that one, but I never watched any of the sequels. Technically, he was into All the Boys, Always and Forever. He was Kitty's little love interest there for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, like, he's doing a little something, something. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm excited to see, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we're always very, like, oh, K-pop, music. But I am, like, excited to see what other people do, like, even outside of it, just because I love like all these people from Boys Planet. Next we have trainees who are kind of just like in upcoming groups. We have Park Min-suk, who signed to Beat Interactive and currently in the lineup for New Beat.
We also have John Usuk, who returned to All Art Entertainment and is currently in a trainee group called All Art Boys.
And then Hiroto returned to Rainbow and will debut in NXD, and apparently are releasing a pre-release song soon. Quite frankly, could already be out.
Rainbow's doing a new group. Oh my god.
Yeah, NXT, short for Next
Identity.
Next Identity, 5-member group. Oh, okay, so pre-debut. Okay, so they do. Did it come out? Okay, so these two were on Fantasy Boys. What? Oh my god, they look so good. Hold on. Okay, maybe they. Hold on, let me just look them up like this instead. Holy crap! Look at them. Look.
Okay, listen. I'm kind of freaking out because I didn't really realize that Rainbow was about to debut a new group. We high-key really enjoy many of the groups that come out of Rainbow Entertainment. I am so excited for NXT.
Yeah, the NXD stands for Next Identity, like the random letters within there. That is really cute.
And it's a 5-member group. We're in trouble. But super excited. Oh my gosh.
Wow, he's stunning. Their Machina's adorable. Okay, anyway.
Jumping off of that, we'll have to dive into that in a future episode. Last but not least, on our upcoming contestants list, we have Kui Shenyang, who debuted June 26, 2023 with a group Open Sea. I believe that's how it's pronounced, with a single called A Little Love.
And quite frankly, for like people who haven't debuted yet, best for last, our two, like outside of like some of these other people, our two like favorite people from this show that we adore so much, very special place in our heart.
Yes.
Are Umasi and Quandary. So they are both still pursuing, unfortunately no like big crazy news yet. They participated in Jungwoo's like special project performances that he did. You've seen Quandary around, went to different events, and like Umasi's a little more active on social media as well. And they've both been doing like performance videos. They even did one together, so please go watch that.
I really would love if they debuted together. That is my big manifestation
that would
wish.
Be so beautiful.
They are just so fun together. Their dynamic is amazing. We were really hoping that they would debut with Jungwoo, actually.
Yeah, they were like, whenever we were like curious about the whole like one packed lineup and everything, they were two that we were like, oh, maybe like that would be a dream.
Yeah. And I believe they both are Chinese as well, so like maybe we'll get a Chinese group from them. I'm not 100% sure how that all works. I know there's a lot of like technicalities with all that, but we are just really, really hoping that we get some news from them.
Like they're literally like within my top 5 like favorite people from Boys Planet. So It's just, I genuinely, oh gosh, if they debuted in the group together, how are we supposed to choose a bias?
There's not. You either stand both of them or no one.
Let's just do a duo.
Yeah. That would be iconic. We haven't had a K-pop duo debut in so long. Overall, I just feel like there is so many contestants from Boys Planet that are being picked up by people and like pursuing something and just doing really well.
Especially lately.
Yeah. So just really proud of them. And there is a possibility that we missed some of them in this list. We did our best to gather as much information as we could, but really just so proud and happy for them all. And we were just really excited to give you kind of an update of what we currently know and are excited for with the contestants of Boys Planet now. Before we end this episode, we are going to do our song of the moment. This week it is going to be
Mots by ATEEZ.
I've been freaking out over this song. First of all, subunit songs from ATEEZ makes me want to sob. I'm so excited that we got them.
And it's so ironic because like right before that happened, we recorded an episode about the fact that we want them to have
subunit songs.
Subunits, exactly.
We fully caught that one, yeah.
And then immediately they announced that they were doing it. I'm like, thank you for listening. Even though that would have only given you like 2 hours to
put that together. Yeah, but still. Absolutely love it. And the sound of Mots, first of all, Songhwa is just one of my favorite people on this entire planet. But the song that they did together, like Mots, is such a cool sound and it gets stuck in my head so often. So if you haven't heard it, really recommend going to check that out. And if you want to shout out your favorite song for the song of the moment, as well as participate in more of our podcast segments, you can join us over on Patreon. As always, you can find us on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at The Lunapod, and on Instagram at The Luna Podcast for up-to-date information on episode releases and behind-the-scenes fun. We post all sorts of content, so definitely make sure to follow us and check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Who else was some of the other like Veritopia characters?
There was like so many like the colors of the rainbow, but I can't remember if any of them had.
Laverna. Oh, she was mother.